Anytime, anytime. As long as we're clear that if you ever grab a story of mine like that again, I'll bite down hard and I'll draw blood.
I understand, and I do apologize.
Good. Remember, panic button off.
Okay.
That was very generous of him. I have to tell you, I was very, very impressed with the way he handled himself today. He had every reason to be absolutely furious when Kevin pulled that stunt and went in the back door of the diner. He stayed right on the story on the outside. In fact, he was really kind to me when he saw that I was in a hysterical panic.
He might appreciate hearing that from you. Something else you should know. He filed his copy 30 minutes after he got back to the office. George says it's great. I was just on my way to take a look at it.
Hey, you recovered?
Yes, thank you, thank you. If you have a minute, may I see you down the hall, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Called into the principal's office again?
Mommy, we can handle this meeting. Why don't you go home and put your feet up?
I feel fine now. I just think it would be better for me to be here than home alone.
Oh, Mrs. Vega.
Oh.
Hey, I just talked to my mom. She said a man held you at gunpoint.
Yes, I was, but, and it was pretty scary while it was happening, but everything turned out right, thank God. No one got hurt. So come, sit down.
Hi.
Hi. So, what happened?
What happened? Well, what happened is that Linda Soto's uncle, he's about to lose his business. He's going to lose his home because he's behind on payments to the bank.
Yeah, Mr. Soto and this new bank manager were part of the diner breakfast crowd. Well, Mr. Soto got upset with this new manager. Somebody called the police. Then Mr. Soto lifted one of the guns from the cop and he grabbed Carlotta.
Hey, could have been a tragedy, but it wasn't, and everybody walked away from it just fine.
Well, Andrew offered himself as hostage in place of my mother. I'll never forget that. Never.
Neither will I.
Well, simple truth of the matter is that I was the only one in a position to make that particular move.
Weren't you scared?
Yeah.
Well, just glad everyone's okay.
Yeah, but Donna Ernesto still has a problem.
He sure does, and that's what we're here to resolve.
So, how do we move in on Ace's bank?
Bank? Asa? What bank?
Jessica, your grandfather bought the Lontano Savings and Loan, and now his new branch manager is calling in the loans.
So this was all my grandfather's fault.
Look, Jessica, you're nothing like Asa, okay? And we don't hold any of this against you.
You got that? Okay, everybody. So how do we raise the $60,000 the Sotos owe?
Okay. It's a lot of money, but I suggest that we set up a campaign where we raise this money through individual contributors.
Charity? I don't think the Sotos will accept.
I'm not talking about charity. I'm talking about a fund where people can take out loans at market rates, but our repayment plan is going to be a lot more flexible than the banks.
That's great. That's perfect. But I want to do much more than that. I want to organize an action committee that's actually going to march into Lantano Savings and Loan, and with all due respect to everybody here, stick it to Asa Buchanan.
You tell that bank manager of mine to be in my office first thing in the morning. Oh, and tell him to bring a platter so he got something to carry his head home with after I'm through with him. Look at those press hounds 3 deep outside my gate. How could that stupid bank manager have fouled up things so badly?
Well, you did tell him to step up foreclosures in the neighborhood.
I didn't tell the fool to broadcast it all over Landview. The media are following us like a pack of coyotes on a hamstrung steer. Next, I got to deal with Bo, Clint, Renee, and Nora. and listen to the grief they're going to give me. And I bet that kid Vega would like to get in my face about his mama being taken hostage.
You got that right.
All right, Drew. Now, you've been hanging back. You've been watching and listening. And let's see what you're made of. You're part of this waterfront deal with me. Advise me.
Look, we're just starting to buy up the waterfront property. If we come off looking like bad guys, we're dead in the water. No one's going to sell us anything more.
So?
So go to Vega. Apologize and offer to help out the Soto family. And make sure the press knows about it. Then lay low for a couple weeks. And start right back buying up everything in sight.
I like it. Yeah, I really like it. We got a problem.
What?
Things are a little dicey between the Vegas and me. And after the fiasco today, I don't know if they let me in the door.
You telling me you're not up for a challenge?
Follow me. I'll show you some quick moves.
Okay, so what we need to do is organize the entire community. We have to try to convince the people to transfer their checking accounts and their savings accounts from Lantano Savings and Loan to the competition.
Great.
Credit cards, lines of credit, CDs, safety deposit boxes.
Excellent. And nobody takes out a loan from the Buchanan Bank.
And I think we should organize a meeting at the community center. We're going to have people volunteer to hand out flyers. And, Christian, can you design a poster?
Sure, yeah.
Hey, it's a great start.
Oh. Well, I think that coffee should be ready. Anybody ready for fresh?
Hey, what do I got to do, tie you down? I will get the refills.
I will help.
Thanks for coming to check on my mom.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to see if she was okay.
I'm really sorry I haven't called.
Yeah, me too.
I've been swamped with final exams and papers, and, I guess I just needed some time by myself, to think about us.
Yeah, are you still mad about me not making love to you that night?
I was frustrated when it didn't happen, but I'm not mad, okay? I mean that. And I really respect you for being honest with me about telling me to wait. And, I would never want to make you feel like you're forced to do something you're not ready to do.
But
it's really hard to see you right now. I'm sure you understand that. And at the same time, I really miss you.
I miss you too. But if you want to move on, you have to tell me. I have to hear it from you.
Move on.
Yeah. My Uncle Bo told me that Lane was with you the night of his surprise party. That kind of threw me, but I understand. I'm trying to understand.
The night with Lane had nothing to do with you. It wasn't about you, about us.
Do I want to know what it had to do with?
Lane came by the diner to help decorate. That's all she did.
Yeah, sure.
You're the one I love, not Lane.
Oh, Chris, hi. Sorry I'm late. I had to turn in a paper that was due yesterday. So, can you leave? Is your mom okay?
Yeah, everything's settled down. We can go.
Okay, let's go. Oh, Jessica. Hi.
Lynn and I were assigned to set up the art studio for the final projects tomorrow. So,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll call you real soon, okay? Promise.
I really just wanted to thank you for everything you did today, especially for the moral support at the diner.
Well, over the years, I've learned the importance of the care and feeding of one's publisher. You're welcome.
I am truly appreciative of the way you handled Kevin. Not many reporters would have been as generous as you were. He was way out of line. Sit down.
Well, he won't do it again. At least not to me. I like your kid. He's got a lot of hustle. He did a nice piece of work.
So did you.
A story like that writes itself. Kevin reminds me of my son, Frank.
The television newsman?
Well, right now he's just a talking haircut, but I'm proud to say he's fighting with his management to let him do more reporting.
Oh. Now, you have 3 children, right?
2 sons and a daughter.
Oh. I do too.
My kids, they're a little crazy and obsessive. I must say, they're far better citizens than their father ever was. Of course, given me, that's not too hard to pull off. Dorothy's studying to be a social worker in Manhattan.
Oh, that's God's work.
Indeed. And Roger's out there on the cutting edge of computer software design. I tried to keep up with him for a little while, but I felt like I was in Oz.
Clint made me learn spreadsheets.
Roger keeps threatening to come down from Boston to check up on me. I can say with assurance he'd be delighted to look over your setup.
Oh, I'm quite sure we can use the help. Your family sounds close.
The kids are. My mother says the ultimate satisfaction in life is to live long enough and colorfully enough to become the despair of your children. She's set a formidable example. But I'm working on it.
Well, you've certainly got a handle on Mr. Soto's state of mind and the despair that pushed him over the edge.
I take that as an okay to go to print?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Good work. Of course, it wasn't your story.
I know. Dad, I already apologized to Mel, and I understand. What I did was very unprofessional.
Unprofessional? It was downright juvenile. Kevin, that could have been fatal. It could have been fatal for you, for Carlotta, for Andrew.
I understand, Dad. I realized that once I walked in that door and Soto started taking shots at me. But I gotta tell you, when I was outside, all I kept thinking was, this is big news. I know these people. I have to get in there.
Like I said, it was juvenile. Now, you don't jump another reporter's story, especially when he's on your team, and especially when it's a reporter like Mel Hayes.
I already promised the big guy. It will never, ever happen again.
Good. See that it doesn't. Oh, one more thing. Your mother filled me in on this new development between you and Cassie.
Dad, I think that falls under the category of personal business.
Not if it affects your working relationship here at the Banner. If it complicates life here in the city room, we got a problem.
Dad, we're way past that. I mean, yeah, it could have caused a problem when Cassie and I were walking around here not being true to our feelings for each other. I mean, we drove ourselves crazy for a few months there, but it never affected our work, did it?
To be honest, no.
And it is not going to, okay? We're happy now. We can concentrate.
I'm willing to consider that as a possibility. Tell me, I take it this is serious.
I'm madly in love with her, Dad. Is that serious enough? Hey, Cass.
Hi, Clint.
Oh. Cassie? Excuse me.
Where have you been?
I went for a long walk out down by the river. Just finally stopped shaking. Every time I think about how both you and Andrew could have been blown. Why? What possessed you to go in after Soto like that?
Did you ask Andrew this same question?
Andrew, I understand. A minister sometimes has to put his life at risk. It's part of the job.
It's part of my job, too. When the story calls for that, you know this, Cassie.
Can I need you? During the past 4 days, my entire life has been turned upside down. And then to stand by and hear those gunshots and not know if you had... Promise me, just promise me that you will be more careful. Courtney probably would have said go after that story at all costs, but everything has changed.
Yes, it has. And after what happened in the diner, I think I know where you're coming from. In more ways than one.
I mean, I know it's normal for him to want the things, you know, that a college girlfriend would give him. And it's not fair to ask him to just wait until I can. You know what? I really shouldn't be having this conversation with you.
Oh, Jessica, I'm very flattered that you feel like you can. I'm always happy to talk to you. You're a remarkable woman, you know that?
I don't feel very remarkable.
Well, you know, I probably shouldn't intrude, but there is one thing that I want to say. I know how very important you are to Christian, and I know he loves you very much.
Yeah, but it's just like things are changing, you know?
I know, of course it's going to feel like that because it is. You're growing up. You're very brave. And very beautiful.
Thank you, but I don't feel very brave right now. So I'd better go before I start a flood.
Oh, honey. Just have faith. I know Christian doesn't want to lose you.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Buchanan, please, give me a moment, please. Mr. Buchanan, if you truly get back for a little bit,
Jesse, nice to see you.
Grandpa.
Mr. Buchanan, we're closed.
Oh, what a nice warm welcome. Those press hounds have been following me from one end of Llanview to the other.
Well, I wonder why.
Because, as usual, they don't know their butt from their elbow. But we're all going to straighten that out.
You mention your mother frequently.
She's a pistol.
Is that it?
Well, that's all I can manage at the end of a long day.
What about your wife?
She was a sensational human being. Lovely in body and in spirit. Independent. Wise. Far more supportive of me than I deserved.
I will bet that she thought you deserved nothing but the best.
You're right. She did.
How long were you married?
27 years.
Wow.
I proposed to her the week I graduated Columbia. The night I landed my first job on the Post. And we started having babies right away. And then I was assigned to Vietnam, and she didn't see me for 2 years.
Ooh, that's hard. She must have been very proud of your work.
Yes, she was. My father was, too, surprisingly.
Why is that surprising?
Neil was a World War II vet. Distinguished Service Cross, Purple Heart. Vietnam sent him into a tailspin. He couldn't believe the people of this country couldn't respect the decisions of their president and commander-in-chief. He took it hard when he found out all the reports that we were filing were true, and it was a god-awful mess. The day I got home, we sat up for hours while he asked questions and agonized and tried to figure out what it all meant for the Republic. I hope my father knew how much I loved him. He died of cancer in '94.
Boy, you had 2 major losses in a short space of time.
Oh, yeah.
You were fortunate to have had a father like that. I did not.
I'm sorry. I couldn't believe that madness down at the diner. My poor Carlotta. And you. Are you all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, Kevin behaved irresponsibly, but then what else is new? Vicky, I'd be curious to know your opinion of your son's role in the destruction of my daughter's marriage.
I have spent the better part of today in reaction to my son and my stepson being at the center of a hostage crisis. Now, you and I discussed Kevin and Cassie in a relatively civilized manner at the hospital. I'm not in any mood for this.
I have spent the better part of my life reacting to the trouble and the pain which has been caused my family by the Lords and the Buchanans. Oh, as usual. You always do this, the same smug, dismissive denial. But, Vicky, we both know that you have indulged Kevin's selfish and self-centered behavior since the day that he was born, and you probably encouraged him in this.
Encouraged him? Are you insane?
No, Vicky. No, it's you who always falls back on the insanity defense.
Kevin and Cassie are adults. They share equal responsibility for what happened. And Dorian, if indeed Andrew and Cassie's marriage is over, why in God's name would you pretend to be upset? May I point out that you have never liked Andrew?
Well, my personal feelings have nothing to do with this.
That'll be the day.
No. My grandson, River, is going to be traumatized by this divorce, and Kevin pursued Cassie relentlessly and shamelessly. But then again, his mother has a very tattered record when it comes to respecting the sanctity of marriage.
Okay, that's enough. Now, I have had a hideous day, and I am going home to a hot tub and to Mr. Vivaldi. May I suggest that you go soak yourself?
Quitting time. Now walk me out.
I saw a whole other side of Andrew today, and it made me learn something more about you.
Mother? What are you doing here?
Hurricane Dorian is just passing through. Carry on. He's seeing you.
Thank God for that man.
You know something, Kevin? I'm really not up for
Cass,
conversation about Andrew.
Important, please, okay? I mean, we were in a life and death situation there, and I saw Andrew in a radically new and very unexpected light. I totally respect him. I mean, he took command of that situation with such a sense of moral force. I mean, he wasn't trying to prove that he was stronger than anybody, that he was braver than anybody, that he was better than anybody. He just is. And it is pretty intense. It's so loving. It was really overwhelming.
Yeah, it is.
And knowing that you had to live with that on a daily basis. You know, and then of course, if you try and live up to his standards and, you know, fall back and feel like you failed.
You think I failed?
No. No, what I'm saying is, I understand now what you've been going through. And I sympathize.
Thanks.
What do you say? Call it a night, go home, act like normal people?
Antonio, I'm very sorry your mama here was taken hostage. Although I had nothing to do with it, I really think you think I did. So I'm here to mend some fences. We must help the Sotos and not fight amongst ourselves.
How?
Well, I'm going to wipe the loan clean, first of all. Then we're going to buy the building outright, fair market value. There'll be more than enough to pay off the mortgage and a sizable nest egg for a fresh start.
So the Sotos have to start all over again, and you get to keep the property.
Antonio, if they don't have a lot of green, they can't start over anywhere. It's the American way. You go down for the count. You get up, you brush yourself off. You turn failure into opportunity.
Excuse me, Mr. Buchanan. I don't think I can speak for the Soto family, but I really don't think that they'd be interested in hearing your version of the American way.
Well, listen, Carlotta might be right, but
I'd be more than happy to communicate the offer to the Soto family.
Thank you.
You should have phoned. I think you wasted a trip.
Antonio, if you have a minute, I think that we have some unfinished business. I know you've been carrying a grudge against me, so you stood trial for Hess's murder.
Grudge barely covers it.
I like the way you lay it on the line. Pure and simple. That's what impressed me most about you at the trial.
No, the way I pleaded not guilty.
No, the way you handled yourself, the way you held back, not wavering an inch. It showed me one thing. You've got character. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't surround myself with men of character.
Hey, so what do you want?
I'll tell you what I want. I want what's best for you in this life. As you know, I have access to a network of business opportunities. I mean, things you can't begin to imagine. And with me backing you, Antonio Vega can go right to the top.
Carlo tried to buy me, too.
Probably with my 30 million.
Yeah, well, Asa, I'm not for sale.
Fine, fine. What do you think about it? You change your mind? You call me. I was just trying to pour a little Buchanan oil on some troubled waters. Thanks for your time.
Mr. Buchanan, please, give me something. Can you talk to me?
The only oil that Asa Buchanan is trying to sell is snake oil.
All right. What's the real story with you and Vicky?
I think it's inappropriate for me to discuss Vicky with you. You, poor dear, have to work for the woman.
Now, come on. I just had a front row seat on a fast 2 rounds. I'd like a little color commentary.
I respectfully decline. What should we do for dinner?
Oh, I don't know. Drink it. Oh, no, wrong answer. How long have you and Vicky, now, how shall I phrase this? Entertained a mutual antipathy?
Always.
Why?
Oh, please. Come on, we've gone over this. It's Oedipal. I was married to her father.
Yeah, maybe. What I saw in that office goes a little bit beyond the bounds of classical Greek structure.
Please, excuse me, but I really do not feel like ruining a perfectly lovely evening by discussing Victoria, Lord, Riley, Buchanan, Carpenter.
Well, you were frighteningly eager to get in her face a few minutes ago, and I know how you actually feel about the breakup of Cassie's marriage, so you had to go a long way to pick that fight.
Mel, I hate when you do this. Please don't interview me.
I'm sorry. I'm interested.
It's old, it's stale, it's boring.
It's loaded.
Stop it, okay? Please, just stop it.
What's going on here?
Hi, sweetie. Jess, what's wrong?
Nothing. Everything. My life. Christian. I'm picking out on Rocky Road. I hate Rocky Road. My life is a disaster.
What happened with Christian?
Well, I stopped by the diner after school to make sure Mrs. Vega was okay.
That was very considerate of you.
Right. And Christian was there, of course. So we started talking, and I told him how I knew that he was at Uncle Bo's party with Lane, right? He says she was only there to help decorate. I don't believe it. So he said he was sorry that he didn't call, and he loved me, and things were just starting to get better until, Lane walks in to pick him up.
For a date?
Well, no, but it might as well have been. They had to do some studio thing for their art project. I have no clue. You should have seen her, Mom, flinging herself around like she is so great. And you know what I did? I folded. Did I say, excuse me, me and my boyfriend are having a conversation? No. I said, oh, go right ahead. When what I really wanted to do was tell Chris exactly what I think of him and rip out Lane's nose ring. I feel like a pathetic wimp.
You know what, baby? A knockdown, drag-out fight is not always the best way to get your point across. Sometimes it's much wiser to cool off and give the situation a little quiet thought and then try and communicate what you believe and think in a non-confrontational way.
What if what I believe and think is that Chris should suffer horribly?
You said you wanted to meet Bert. There he is.
You weren't kidding. That's a parrot.
I need to ask you a little favor. So Asa Buchanan wants to buy my cooperation. Sounds to me like he's up to something.
Oh, yeah. Question is, what?
Maybe he just wants to stop any more negative publicity about the bank.
Well, something we should keep in mind that he never does anything without a profit motive. Never.
Well, although his motives are probably far from pure, we should tell the Soto family about this offer to buy the building.
Yeah, well, they'd be fools to take him up on it.
Well, you know, Antonio, give them immediate cash, and that's an option they have a right to take. And they may not believe that the community can raise that kind of money.
All I know is that Asa Buchanan took that long trip to Angel Square because he's got something happening that's connected with this neighborhood. I can feel it. So we gotta organize fast and stay on guard.
This is Jessica.
Oh.
And this is my sister, Vicky.
Oh, I like him.
Well, now that you guys have bonded, maybe you wouldn't mind watching him for a few days?
No, not at all.
Oh, wait a minute. Why do you need a bird sitter?
Well, I'm going out of town on business.
Business?
Yeah, that paper that I published. You remember your competition? This is as good a time as any. She starts in isolation, so I can't see her anyway. I mean, she's slowly improving, but I could talk to the doctor by phone every hour or so. And so all that's left to take care of is this guy. Now, look, he's clean. He's easy to feed. All he needs is a little companionship. Now, don't worry, he's no trouble. Most of the time, you won't even notice he's there.
And the rest of the time?
Does he have another name besides Bird?
Well,
No.
I've been calling him Admiral, but he has been ignoring me. The jury's still out on Larry. I guess he's a Laker fan.
Todd, how long are you going to be away?
I'll be back before you know it.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Mom. Look how gorgeous it is. Todd is right. They do need company.
No, Todd knows how to build a good case. Oh, all right.
Good. I'll have his perch and his bird seed and his bird toy sent over in the morning. Just don't give him any clam sauce. Now, don't ask, but trust me on this one. I'm sure they're going to treat you just like one of the family. You'll be spoiled rotten in no time at all.
It shouldn't be that difficult to grasp, Mel. Vicky and I don't like each other. It's as simple as that.
Then why don't you leave her alone?
Because our lives intersect constantly. We are both part of the social structure of this town. Please. My daughter, her son are having an affair. Her half-brother and my niece are married to each other, so it's a little difficult to just leave her alone. Why are you so obsessive?
The pot calling the kettle black, as my sainted grandmother used to say.
Vicky is the only person in this town who is more competitive than I am.
No, how is that possible?
I suppose that you think that you're really amusing.
Occasionally. What else?
I'm going to scream.
Okay.
Okay, would you please listen up, all right? Vicky and I are both very powerful women, okay? Powerful women, powerful people, tend to come into conflict with each other, to compete, to frequently dislike each other, hate each other, despise each other. Are you satisfied? Could you do me a favor and leave the journalist at work, okay? At the office, you are Vicky's. But off duty, you are mine. All mine.
That's both alarming and promising.